Hey, what's up? It's Hair Jordan. Today is another video where I talk about some of the questions that you guys ask as far as advice on creative stuff. In the last video, I talked about how to start a band and what I know about it. And this one is more about creating YouTube content, specifically YouTube thumbnails, because it's important. There were a lot of questions on YouTube, and so I thought I would just take this one thing at a time. This is the first thing I'm gonna talk about. If you have a question on something creative that I may have some answers for, leave a comment and ask me what questions you might have about something maybe you're thinking about getting into, if you're interested in whatever. If I know anything about it, then maybe I'll talk about it in a video. Anyways, YouTube videos. They're easy to make. Anybody with a phone or a laptop with a camera can make them. But one thing that people don't always spend a lot of time on or do very well is the thumbnail, which is super important to have a good thumbnail. If you can learn to have great thumbnails, that will just attract a lot more people to click on your video. If your video sucks, they probably still won't watch it even with a good thumbnail. But having a great thumbnail is key to making YouTube videos that people will want to watch. And maybe you don't have a computer, you don't have Photoshop or know how to edit stuff really complicatedly, and that's actually okay. Because in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make really professional, eye-catching thumbnails with just your cell phone. And it doesn't matter if you have iPhone or Android, it works for both, right? So first of all, is it okay to film YouTube videos on your phone? Yes, I have filmed a lot of my videos on my phone. This one I'm not, because I'll be using my phone to show you, but it's totally okay to film on your phone, and it's definitely okay to make thumbnails on your phone. So I'm gonna show you how. All right, there's an app I use called PicsArt, which I've made a video on them before. It's a really cool app, and they're sponsoring this video again. I reached out to them and said I was making the video on thumbnails, and I wanted to promote their app as the one to do it. So they're like, great, sounds good. It's a perfect app to make YouTube thumbnails. There's so many apps to make thumbnails. Some of them have watermarks, or you gotta pay to like save the image. I mean, there's just a lot. I've gone through so many apps, but PicsArt is legitimately a great app, and there's a lot of free stuff you can actually use without a watermark. And then there's paid features that are definitely worth it as well. So download the PicsArt app and follow along. First thing you need to do to have a great thumbnail is the picture. Usually what I do is right before I start filming a video, I'll make the face for the thumbnail, whether it's like, or whatever, you know, shock or surprise, or depending on what the video is. And then I will just screenshot it from the video footage, right? So if you have a phone, on iPhone, you just press these two buttons and it screenshots whatever's on your screen at the time, and that's perfectly fine. But since I'm filming on my camera, I'm just gonna take a selfie of myself and use that for this thumbnail I'm gonna edit for you right now, all right? So I'll just like hold this up and maybe do something to like look surprised, because that's what a lot of people do in thumbnails, like, yeah, that's not a very good one. Let me retake it. We could even do something like this and be like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that looks great. I mean, my hair is a mess, but the picture itself is good for a thumbnail, right? My face is taking up a good portion of it. We'll probably zoom in a little, actually. And yeah, we'll work with that. So let's pull it up in the PicsArt app. There's a link in the description where you can download it. I definitely recommend it. All right, so here's the PicsArt app. Click the plus button at the bottom and select the photo we just took. And the first thing I'm gonna do is crop it, this tools button, because the picture isn't actually the widescreen that it should be for YouTube. So we need to crop it, and we're gonna click 16:9. Those are the dimensions we want. And as you can see, it zooms in a little, but that's okay, because that's what I wanted to do anyway. That right there is about right. Like, if you look at other people's thumbnails, you'll get an idea of what they should look like. People whose videos are similar to the style of videos you want to make. And just kind of like learn from that. So this is about right. So I'm gonna click apply, and now we have it the right width for YouTube, okay? From here, there is all kinds of stuff we can do. If you click on effects, there's filters first of all, which you can even like adjust those and whatever, but the magic filters are pretty sweet too. Yeah, these are really cool. These are some really cool ones, but I really want to do one that's free for everyone. So I'll get out of there. So one of the things you can do is actually cut out yourself and just have a solid color in the background, which is really cool. So I'm gonna do that right now. You just click on cut out like I did. If you hit that person icon, it actually tries to cut you out, and it does a pretty good job, but usually you have to go in and refine it. And so that's what we're doing right now, is we're refining it to make sure that it's completely accurate, but it does most of it. And start tracing. It does not have to be perfect. As you can see, mine is very much not perfect. We can zoom in by going like that and kind of get like more detailed zoom. The hair is the problem. Just make sure my ear doesn't get caught off or anything. And oops, I accidentally just cut out some of the wall. I did not mean to do that. So I'm just gonna hit undo and do it again, but a little bit more carefully. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because we're gonna go through with the eraser tool here, and it really doesn't take long. That's what I usually do. I usually like to make sure the edges are really well done, just because it looks better, you know, and it really takes not that long. Like seriously, like 60 seconds is time well spent making sure your edges are good. Then to be perfect. That's why you zoom in so much, because then when you zoom out, it's like you don't notice that it's not perfect. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and click save, and boom, it cut out the background. I actually missed some spots right there on my arm, but that's okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is click on the draw button. I mean, there's several ways you could do this. You could add another photo to the background, one that you download from Google Images, or they have some options here in the app you could do. I mean, there's so much you could do, but what I'm gonna do is just like a solid color background. Click the layer button and make sure I'm drawing it on this background layer. Just change the color of the layer to something blue. That looks good. And now the background is blue. And you can still kind of tell that I did a crappy job cutting out around my arm there, but that's okay. But here's where you can click on the photo thing and put a picture in the background. You can click there and put shapes in the background if you want. You can put text on it. All right, so we're gonna hit apply. Now we have our blue background, which looks really cool. Another thing we can do is add text, right? And that's what I'm gonna do now. Just click the text button, type something simple. Put like #1 trick. And there it is. Put it wherever we want. Change the color, something dramatic, maybe a light red, maybe a white border. Yeah, that looks good. I don't know. #1 trick for having thumbnails. That looks good. I mean, it's just a stupid thing I'm doing for this video. Next, we could add something else, like maybe a picture of a phone, because this video is about how to make thumbnails on your phone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Google and type in iPhone PNG and click on images. Which, if you didn't know, if you type in the name of something on Google and PNG, it will usually show you transparent photos, which means it's just the iPhone. Like the background is just clear, which is exactly what we want for this. This is perfect. So I'll just click on it and save image and go back to PicsArt. And now I can click add a photo there at the bottom. Click on the iPhone and boom, now we have an iPhone on the screen. Woo, that's pretty cool. And hit apply and there we go. Now we have a phone on there too. So it's looking pretty good. Another thing we could do, I haven't talked about yet, is if you click on tools, there are so many options which you can crop from there. You can also remove the background from there, but you can also enhance the photo. And then they have a whole section of beautifying things. If you wanna like smoothen out your face and stuff, remove blemishes, all that stuff. Or just click the auto button. Click on auto. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll just leave it like that. I mean, it's supposed to make it look a little better. But then we'll go to the tools one, and I usually like to click on curves, do color curves, right? I usually up the highs a little and pull down the lows a little. That's not a very good job, actually. Made it look worse. Just a little bit though, usually will make it look a lot better. Very subtle. Makes the darks look dark and the lights like stay nice looking. So I usually do it to my video footage too, if it needs it. All right, so here's the original picture we had. Here's the thumbnail we made. That's pretty good, it's not bad. So, I mean, it took maybe what, like 10 minutes to make this? We'll just go to next, save the photo, and done. Photo is saved. We go to our pictures now. There it is, the #1 trick. All right, so that is how to make an awesome looking YouTube thumbnail on your phone with nothing other than a phone and a free app called PicsArt. But like I said, lots of the paid features are amazing and they're very worth it, and it's very inexpensive. Way cheaper than buying Photoshop, and they look very professional. So I highly recommend getting PicsArt. Give it a try, leave a comment, let me know if you try it or if you have tried it and what you think. And also let me know if you have any other questions I may be able to answer for you. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.